Hey everyone, so I just wanted to do a real quick kind of sneak peek for my equipment and then kind of go over my, I guess you could say, updated RODI that I have running here in the new basement. So I'm going to start with my equipment spotlight. So I've been running on my Red Sea Reefer 250, which is over there in the corner over there. Plastic media cups for quite a while now. I got pretty sick and tired of the filter socks. I didn't like the fact of having to clean them. They clogged very quickly, and the process of having to take out, and especially in this sump over here for the 250, having to move equipment around just to get the filter socks out, I wasn't, a big fan of it. So I noticed on Marine Depot that they had the plastic media cups in a couple different color varieties. So I picked up two for that tank, and I've been running them now for a couple months. I've had a bag of pond matrix in there for a little over a year, so I took out the bag and I evenly distributed it in each filter cup, and then at the top of it I just run filter floss. So I change it out every 2-3 days. Definitely helps keep the nitrates down. I'm happy with the success of it and how it runs. Oh, there's my little helper coming down to pay me a visit. But yeah, I've been running that on the 250 for a while, and through some YouTube videos that I watch and people that I follow, I noticed that a lot of people were going to this style, which is a really nice clear acrylic with the black rim, black bottom. It's got the side slots, it's got the holes on the bottom. Advantage I see to this one over the ones that I currently have, the Marine Depot ones and the 250 over there, they only have holes on the bottom. They don't have these side slots. So for the 525 that I'm building, I am definitely going to be adding these in. I ordered a set of them. I'm going to transfer the pond matrix from the 250 over in this one just to help with the cycle and the bacteria. And then same thing, just use some filter floss up top, swap it out every couple days. They fit perfectly in the Red Sea Reefer little holders here. So this is the one from the new tank. Nice clean flush. Never really have to worry about anything. It fits perfect. Really impressed with the build quality on this, and also the customer service. So I had originally ordered my set probably right before the holiday season here, and unfortunately during transit one of them got damaged. So the top lip was cracked completely, and it was obviously popping up and down. So I contacted, I should probably say where these are from. So these filter cups are from Anything Acrylic. I'm going to post their link in the description. As far as I know, just communicate through Facebook. But the customer service was exceptional. So obviously they're from Australia, so I should note that as well. So the shipping time is not exactly quick, but it is what it is when you're looking at international shipping from Australia to the US. But I contacted him as soon as I opened it up. I sent him a picture of how it was delivered, and within like an hour or two, he had the next one in the mail. And this is actually the brand new one he just sent me, and it's perfect, no issues, good seals, nothing's loose. So the customer service is beyond exceptional. I'm sure these aren't exactly cheap to make, but build quality is amazing, customer service is excellent, so I would highly recommend it. If you're someone that's been debating about whether or not to get rid of the filter socks, this is a great idea. They do run a little bit more than the Marine Depot, and then obviously with international shipping, a set of two cost me about $130 shipped to the US. So, I mean, a lot of people are gonna say right off the bat, oh, that's really expensive, but I like the design of it. I think it's sleek, it's gonna look great in the sump of the 525. So I paid the extra money, maybe just for the cosmetics of it, but for me, I felt it was worth it. So just kind of wanted to spotlight that. Definitely thumbs up to Anything Acrylic. Highly recommend them and their filter cups. So kind of going over the RODI system. So I plan on building a little wooden stand where I can mount this on, because one thing I hate, and if you're anyone that owns one of these systems or a comparable version, swapping out the canisters is not easy. You have water leaking out everywhere. You're trying to balance it, getting the cup back on. It's just a pain in the butt. So I'm going to build a little stand that I can mount this on, so I could have a 5-gallon bucket kind of under it when I have to unscrew these filters to swap them out. That way it'll collect all the water, won't go everywhere. But this is the 150-gallon Water Saver Plus. So it's got the TDS meter, your glycerin gauge there, and it's just the 4-stage model. So it's got one sediment filter, carbon block, and the RODI canister on the far right there. So I got a little bit creative, because at my old house, if you look back through my videos, my laundry room was downstairs in the basement. So I had my wash tub right there, and that's where I connected it. And then I had my brute totes just right next to it. Well, at first, I should explain, I guess, in the new house, we have the laundry room on the main floor with the wash tub and everything. And it's a pretty tight room, so there was no way I was going to be able to fit one, not to mention 2 brute totes in the laundry room. So at first I had this unit under the sink, and I ran a blue hose through a hole in the floor just down here to the totes. I was like, well, you know what? It's going to be even more of a pain in the butt when I have to swap out these filter canisters. So I just came up with the idea, I'm going to put the unit downstairs, and then I ran the red line straight through the floor. So you can see there, sorry. It was just the main cold and water line, drilled a hole right in the center of them. The main water line just comes straight down to the unit. And then I have the waistline. This was another issue I ran into, but luckily I had a quick fix. Being in the basement, and the way that my certain city is coded for plumbing and all that, I have no floor drains. The only option would have been is if I had them install it for a potential bathroom, but all the drains per code are above floor level in the house. It's unique to me. I haven't seen that. Usually most houses have underground plumbing, but I don't know the reasoning, but that's what it is. So I was like, okay, well, how am I going to get rid of the wastewater besides buying another brute container to put it in? But luckily, my AC unit has the one and only drain in the basement. So this leads to my sump, which is in the far corner. If you take that little hole all the way back, I have a very large basement. But yeah, so I drain it into the AC. I've had no issues, no backups. So that's the waistline. And then for the return line, the clean water, I have it running to a 3-way splitter. So you have the input and then the diverter that goes into whatever tote you want. And then I installed in each one a float switch, or float valve, I'm sorry. I'm gonna be completely honest, especially at my old house, I was the guy that several times forgot to turn off the water and flooded, well, mini flood, not a big flood, but I got my basement pretty wet. My old basement was partially carpeted. It basically was completely carpeted except for a small square around the laundry area. So that was not fun, and I did that probably 2 or 3 times, guys. I'm not gonna kid myself. It's happened to me. So when I did this setup in the basement, that's one thing I wanted to make sure was that the water stays in here. It's not going to go onto the floor. So there's a float valve in each. I have the diverter, which is the little knob there. You can just tell it which way you want to go. The only thing that I have to say in that mentality, it works. This bucket over here had filled up and the water stopped going into it, so I know the float valves work to stop the return water, the good line. But if you don't catch it, guys, you're still going to be wasting water, because all the water is going to get diverted to your waistline. So you're still going to be running water. It's not like the whole system completely stopped. But I believe there are other alternatives out there in ways that you could completely get the system to stop, like solenoid switches and valves and all that. At this point, I haven't done too much research. Maybe someone that's watching this video will be able to share what they've found out. and some tips and tricks. I'm not too concerned. My main concern was just, even if it was 10-20 minutes, I don't want the water overflowing out of the canisters onto the ground. Especially new house, brand new cement. I don't want water everywhere. But yeah guys, so that's gonna be pretty much it for the video. So again, I'll post the link in my description. Anything acrylic, these filter cups are awesome. Can't wait to get them in the Red Sea Reefer 525 upstairs. And then this is what I'm running for my RODI right now. 2 float valves, little diverter switch, and the water coming from upstairs going down. If you have any questions, comments, or feedback, please feel free to leave them in the suggestions. Have a good one.